on day release. Demon sub tries not to crease, and D-Watts keep it nice and warm in bed with Russian uniform. Meanwhile, the Candyman is opening another can. Technical difficulties, they're really such a crime. Technical difficulties, they happen all the time. It's Yellow Belly Tabletop time. It's Yellow Belly Tabletop time. It's Yellow Belly Tabletop time. Sometimes they're salty about the gaming biz, and nobody knows who Upworlder is. Technical difficulties, they're really such a crime. Technical difficulties, they happen all the time. It's Yellow Belly Tabletop 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 time.
Are we here? Are we quiet? Oh, Paul's got no mic. He's screaming in the background, boys and girls. Welcome to Yellow Belly Tabletop. The technical difficulties have started early this evening, assuming you can all hear me.
Let's hope they can,
Loud
eh?
and clear.
Fucking hell. Great. Well, we're
No
nothing if
sound
not
from Paul in his entirety.
we're nothing if not consistent. Ta-da! I was just about to say hello to a subdued and chill live stream this week. David and I are both in subdued and sort of like, I don't know, not low, but we're on the down low at the moment. I'm full of stinking cold, and I'm completely fucking burned out from work. So, and David's got shit going on. So this will be nice and chill. Maybe not such a salt storm. Maybe not a lot of shouting and.
Famous last words, Paul. Famous last words.
Oh fucking hell! Now
Don't
what?
forget who is here in chat. It is me.
Yeah, okay. Let me just mute that because I don't want to double David. Right.
You don't want
So-
to double dip on David? Why
No,
don't you
don't.
want to double dip on David?
No, not double dipping. Fucking hell. So, oh dear. So yeah, good evening. Welcome to another hobby live stream. Put on your chillest
Looking forward to-
tunes, and we'll waste the next 2 hours doing our usual. For those of you who are new here, welcome. This is our customary Thursday night hobby live stream. So after I finish my pipe and my herbal tea, I may very well be joining you and doing some hobby. So if you're doing any hobby, like
We're both herbal teaing
old
tonight.
creepy beaver boy here who's already hard at it, Mr. I am the grindstone. Fucking hell. Too keen by far. Then put in the chat. What are you working on tonight? Oh God. Yeah, double D dipping for saltiness. We got double D's. Yeah, it's turned into the fucking Carry On stream already. Nice. Oh, matron. So yeah, if you're new here, over the next couple of hours, we'll be following our usual format. In a minute, I'll give these lunatics a shout out, all the people in the chat. So if you're in the audience and lurking in the shadows and want to shout out, comment. And then you'll get your name called out on the internet. Oh, Fabe! Fabe! So we'll do that. Then we'll show you what we're going to be working on tonight. Then we'll tell you what we got up to at Gaming Club on Monday. Then we've got a load of news, or a load of things, tabs that I've pulled up. So we'll talk about them for a bit. Then, as we roll around to 9 p.m. UK time-ish, then we'll talk about our main topic. Tonight, we're just going to talk about nostalgia. Nostalgia specifically relevant to gaming. Obviously,
Oh, days!
sorry, what, mate?
The good old days!
The good old back in my day. Except he can't say that because his fucking day was only yesterday because he's about 2. Yeah, we'll talk about nostalgia as it relevant to gaming.
Curmudgeon.
Obviously, this is a weird one because obviously it's old fuckers like me can have way more capacity for nostalgia than young fuckers like him. But I'm interested. The thing I'd be most interested in, if everybody wants to get their little thinking hats on, when we get into it around 9 o'clock. Fucking nice on Damon. Nostalgia won't be as good as it used to be. Do you know what? That's really what I'm looking for. Because we all fall victim to it. And what I'm most interested in are those people who went back with their nostalgia glasses on and thought, oh, do you know what? I haven't been served well by these. I was nostalgic for this. And I can't remember why now I have resampled it.
My rose-tinted spectacles have fucked me up.
They've seemed to have fallen off, and they've fallen from my eyes, and I see this for the tut that it is. So yeah. Funnily you say that, Limburger. This came up, or Cheese Me, or God, he's got so many different usernames. So pardon me coughing.
This came up because of me, didn't it?
Yeah, this sort of came up because David's getting his digital game nostalgia rocking at the moment, and that's precisely what we sort of like. We thought, well, that can also be a gaming, an analog gaming thing, a tabletop gaming thing. So let's have a little bit of a waffle about that. Right, mate. So, as you're working harder than Stephen Hawking's bicycle clips, do you want to go first with what we're working on tonight?
Go on then. I'll just dry brush my lion.
Line.
If it will focus.
Blurry line.
There we go.
Ooh. Do you know what? Oh my god, it's got tubes and shit. Still, it's a Doctor reanimated nightmare, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a modified one. So he's got no eye. He's got a implant in his mane. He's got this tube. He's got a shackle that he's broken free from.
I do like that colour for the fur.
We're just giving him.
What's the deal with that?
Do I know what this is? So this is buff, which is quite yellow.
Yeah.
Then washed with skeleton horde contrast.
Ah.
So Seraphim sepia, but not quite as orange and aggressive.
I was going to say, buff is not that sort of like orangey yellow, but I see what you did there. That's very good.
With not Iraqi sand, but dark sand.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. That's a really good little trick then. A buff with skeleton horde over the top. That's cool.
and then just dry brush it with some dark sand.
Toros, Paulsville. I'm putting a face mask on. Good idea.
No, not Iraqi sand, unfortunately. But, boys and
Oh my
girls,
God.
this week we have been busy.
That would have been genius, Toros. Do you know Parsley the
We have
Lion, mate?
No, I haven't.
So hit Google when you finished faffing about and type in Parsley the Lion. That would have been a very... Oh, yeah.
So I've done
Hang on a minute.
a shirt and some gloves this week.
I missed the roll call. I'm getting fucking called out here. Shit.
Oh,
Shit.
You carry on. Do the roll call while I'm doing stuff and showing people.
This is doing my head in. Oh, fucking YouTube's changed everybody's usernames again. At Not the Stinky Cheese, good evening. At Upworlder, that's Trevor from our local club, also made famous in the theme song. At Still No Ring, that's Dave's other half, and she's obviously reminding him of something. Can't think of what. Who else we got? Who else is in here? We've got. I've seen loads of other names. I've just got scrolled. Toros. Good evening to you, sir. Damon was in there somewhere. I remember seeing him. Where's Damon gone? I'm not imagining it, am I?
Matthew the Wargamer.
Hello, Matthew. Good evening.
You might be imagining it.
No, I saw a post from Damon. Yeah, Damon Brentle, 5907. Nice catchy little username there. Rolls off the tongue. So there you go. Roll call done. Let's go back to the show. So, yeah, go on, mate. Is that a pint of vodka?
So this week I've also been...
On your desk?
No, it's not a pint of vodka. That's my that's my water washer brush.
Oh, right. Okay. Just checking.
There you go.
I can't tell it. Is that Doctors or is that fucking Fallout? What are you, crossing the streams of the miniature ranges here?
It's Doctors. It's Doctors. It's all Doctors.
It looks Fallout, man. Well, the weird horned thing in what? Blue wrappings. What the fuck is going on with that?
It's cattle prods.
Right.
For the beasts.
Is he wearing clothes or is he just wrapped in blue like fucking tape? What the fuck?
He's wearing like a blue jumpsuit.
Okay, so they've got boiler suits on. Cool.
And the boiler suits are ripped because the shoulders are out.
Aqua
So got the
Vitae.
gloves
Yeah,
to do.
definitely.
And the cattle prods.
Is that a little bit bent? Or is that just the camera?
Really? No, it's bent. It's very bent. It's very bent.
Oh dear. Should have straightened up before you started painting, buddy.
No, because I tried to straighten it and it's immediately gone back.
Oh, what a bullshit. Yes, Carnivale.
There's TT Combat and Fine Resin.
I am not a fan of their resin, I have to say. I am so glad that they're moving over to plastic.
This is why I've subscribed to the 3D printing one, because it means that it's actually proper resin.
More of that later.
Not their bullshit.
More of that later. Right, okay, cool, mate. Right, so let's get rid of him.
Right. Done with my camera.
Let's turn him off and let him get back to his beavering away. As I say, when I finish my herbal tea.
What herbal tea are you on?
Do you know what? I knew you were going to ask me that. We got herbal tea advent calendar from the English tea shop. This one is green tea and pomegranate. It's very nice. But do you know what? It's the first time. I think it's, well, probably not the first time because I probably enjoyed advent calendars as a kid. But this is like the first advent calendar I've enjoyed for years. It's such a cool idea to have a different herbal tea every day. It's bloody amazing.
Dude, you sound like you're 90. Where's my vape?
I am nearly.
I'm going to have to come back in a minute.
What do you mean? I sound like I'm 90.
While Paul's telling you what he's doing.
It's not bad at all. It's quite good.
Tell people what you're doing while I go get shit.
Bye. I am going to be doing more of this shit. It's a Carnivale explosion. It's a fucking Carnivale sensation. So I am still working through my Carnivale Chroma pre-coloured MDF terrain. I can't remember what this one's called, but I'll find the name somewhere. Oh, look. God damn it. Got some damage there on that. That must have happened when I popped out that central section. Look at that booger. Lost some of the fucking image there. That better not show when I get it put together. Obviously, I have been doing some of this already. So I'll show off these are the base pieces. So this is like a ramp that goes down into the water, like a boat launching ramp or a gondola ramp. It is the chroma stuff, not the stinky cheese, Limburger, cheese me, whatever the hell you want to call yourself. Here's some a stepway to go down into the steps of the canal, into the canal waters of the canals. As you can see, really cool sort of like mossed up textures. It's got wooden fending on all of the brick corners for keeping boats off. And then I've got this. This is the curved stepway. In answer to your question, Upworlder, they're definitely more challenging to build than ordinary TT combat kits, but that is because there's some really weird engineering to make sure that the coloured faces are showing appropriately. These have been the worst ones I've had to do yet, and bizarrely enough, I had to do 2 of the fuckers. I mean, don't get me wrong, that curved stairway looks very good, but actually getting that assembled was a bit of a twat. I don't know if I commented last week, but I know David asked me if I was to give some feedback or commentary for others, almost do like a product review. The main issue is sticking, because unlike where you've got 2 pieces of bare MDF, once they get wet with PVA glue, they bond relatively quickly and easily, because obviously the MDF is so porous. Obviously this sublimation layer, or I think that's the right term, isn't it, mate? This sublimation layer is effectively non-porous. So
Yes, it is.
when you put the PVA on, any surface that sticks to this, it doesn't stick very readily. So I've had to like really make sure that I'm using plenty of clothes pegs, elastic bands, and loads of things to keep the pieces in really tight contact for prolonged periods. Again, don't use cheap shit PVA. You need really good quality, high acrylic content PVA. The fucking like £1 for 10 litres shit from a craft shop, don't even bother. It'll do your head in. I did think about super glue. The problem with the super glue is that it might frost, which will be a nightmare, and B, it's utterly unforgiving. So if I have anything move and then want to pull it apart, whereas if I was doing a standard MDF kit, I might have a little bit of surface damage to cover with paint, I will essentially just rip all of the fucking texture off, which would be an absolute nightmare. So PVA is really the only way I can think of to go with it for reliability. Having said that, apart from that issue with the gluing, just take your time. Araldite, what's that, an epoxy?
Yeah, that's epoxy.
Yeah, I mean, you could do. The problem with Araldite is it's got a curing time, so I don't think you'd gain anything, Toros, because you don't get instant grab with Araldite, do you? You know,
you get slightly better grab and adhesion.
Yeah, I mean, you could,
it'll
but to be honest,
gel up in the first sort of minutes, 10 minutes.
You could do, but like I say, I think you'd just be better off being a bit patient. Again, build, so like this stairway, I did this as a sub-assembly, elastic banded it till it was good and dry, then did the rest of it. It just means that the build times are longer, because you can't just whack it all together and then it'll be good. You've got to take your time. Would I buy any more of it? Absolutely. Because even with the extended build time, look at the fucking painting time that has been saved. I mean, it's just a no fucking brainer. The price is where. Let's put it this way. Hello, FBHKWHD. That's good to see you. We are well enough. Thank you very much for asking.
I do believe that is Crispin that's just wandered in.
Hello. Oh my God, Crispin. YouTube has been unkind with your handle. Hola, FBHK would WH. That's mate. Fubakukwood. Excellent. So yes, I would definitely say we haven't reached the point yet. And I mean, maybe if I'd gone full retirement and I was literally not working and I had more time on my hands that I knew literally what to do with, I might not buy this stuff. But if I was any kind of normal mortal human with other shit going on in my life, pre-coloured terrain is generally worth the money, guys. I just want to say.
Okay, Crispin has just explained what it is.
I saw
Hang on a minute, boys and girls. Hang on. Has YouTube allowed a swear in chat?
Apparently it have. I'll be honest, I saw Cheese Me post that, or Not the Stinky Cheese, to not confuse anybody who might be watching on later thinking, who the fucking hell's Cheese Me? I saw Not the Stinky Cheese post it, and the penny didn't drop, but obviously David was sharper than me and realised actually that was Crispin's acronym. If anybody doesn't know, that's Ben from On Tabletop. If you want the full background, you'll have to do your own research, and basically just troll the forums of On Tabletop to find out why they had a massive falling out, because there is not the time or the inclination here. Also, if you're interested and want to watch some awesome Middle-earth content, as well as his job over on Tabletop, Ben also has his own channel, Because of Dragons, isn't it, guys? Here on YouTube. So yeah, Because of Dragons. Thanks, Cheese Me. I thought it was that, but wasn't 100% sure. But yeah, he does great stuff, particularly around Lord of the Rings, because frankly, he's a little bit obsessed. Just saying, Ben. Really need to fucking get a grip on that, man. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing. As I say, I'll be ploughing on with some more terrain bodgery. I'll tell you what, actually, I've just had a thought. I wonder, have I got a photo that I can share? Somebody made a John Noakes reference earlier.
Ginge, here is the question.
What?
When are we bullying other people to try Carnivale on your new terrain?
Well, I'm hoping that when I get enough of it built, you and I will be playing Carnivale on my new terrain. To be honest.
Yes, but we've got people that have said that they want to be victimised and bullied into buying Carnivale.
Well, I'm just saying we have enough Carnivale terrain. Why don't we just plan a night at club where both you and I run games for people who want? Do you know what I mean?
True.
I hadn't really thought about it, but we could do it in New Year, easy enough. I'm just going to get rid of my desktop cam briefly. It shouldn't matter because it's not live on the internet now. Just checking before I fuck things up. Because that would be completely out of character for us, wouldn't it? Where's that? Oh, bollocks.
Don't know what you're talking about.
I didn't save it to my phone. I was just going to say, somebody made a comment earlier about doing the old sticky back plastic and fucking John Noakes Blue Peter thing. But I tell you what, guys, I had a little project going on with my mate Ricky where we did some good old school scratch building.
Didn't you send them to me on Facebook, mate?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm trying to find the photo that I sent you on Messenger, and then I'm going to save it to my an external location and see if I can share it with the guys. I want to share this photo. What do I want to do with it? I probably want to download it. You fucking shit. How the fuck? How do you download a photo from within fucking Messenger? God, why is stuff so difficult? I don't want to react to it. I want to save image. I've got it. Save this
image. You
image.
found it, or do you need me to go fucking do it for you?
No, I've got it. Admittedly, it's not saved it anywhere useful. Saved it to my phone because yeah, that's where I wanted it. Yeah, that's you save it. Save it there. That'll be handy for nobody ever. God. But yeah, it's because do you know what? It's funny. Scratch building used to be one of those things that we did all the time back in the day. Maybe we're starting the nostalgia thing too soon. Share this.
maybe we are, but
I'm gonna save to this drive here where I put all of the other shit for the stream. Da 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 da. Go!
right.
And make it so, Mr. Digital Thingy. Do it! There you go. No, don't want that.
Why has my doctor got the kinky fisting gloves on?
Is that a rhetorical question?
Well, they're up to his fucking shoulder, so he's going deep.
Right, okay, let's do this. Let's go chickada-bing, chickada-bing, chickada-bing. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. Add some files. Do-ba-dee-do.
There be.
Ching.
There be some.
Ching,
There
ching.
be some fucking agrax.
Oh, that reminds me. I've got to find that video from our with the Agrax recipe mixing the game color washes together for Ricky.
What? Check if his lion's pregnant when it's a man.
Don't you go fucking putting your deterministic fucking bullshit onto that lion. It can be whatever it wants.
It fucking identifies as a toaster.
Add files. Yeah, okay, we're nearly there. Is that the other one? That's the one. Okay. So.
So I'm just trying to wash some leather.
That is not the fucking file. This was not the file I was looking for.
Was it not?
No, it was not.
I'm looking forward to finally having a doctor's list that I've got some alternatives for.
So you don't have to run the same things all the time.
Yeah.
I must confess, I've reached a sort of a sweet spot with my... It does help that the vampires are quite expensive, but I have reached a sweet spot where I can pretty much run whatever I want. Because the thing is, you don't need many models to have an insane amount of stuff, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I think the only thing I want is one of the doctor's sets that dicks around in the water or lets me dick around with some flying, and then I'm done. Spam, if you're here, I hope you're taking notes.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Oh, boys and girls, Paul's Christmas present is on the way. I ordered it. It may not get here until Christmas Eve, though.
That's slightly late, mate. Cut that one a bit close, didn't we?
I've ordered it on the 4th of December, dude. I wouldn't say I left it late.
No, that's true. It just takes obviously a long time to come. Properties. Add.
Now,
God, this is entertaining. Come on, Paul.
Colour.
Go for it, mate. Oh,
Watching man on internet. Use internet.
and of course, I have got 2 files with no thumbnails. Yeah, go for it. This is the one I wanted. Right, share with the world. So, we, as everybody probably knows, because I don't think we've got many new audience members, can't think of why. But me and my mate Ricky are doing the Stalingrad campaign book from Warlord Games for Bolt Action. And one of the things that you need pretty much right from the start is something that's called Balkas, B-A-L-K-S is what they're described as. Essentially, they are dry riverbeds from the western plains of Russia leading into sort of like Eastern Europe, etc. So we've been improvising stroke ignoring these, and then basically Ricky said we need to make some of these Balkas, and I was like, okay, let's do it. So we did a bit of good old scratch building. So we've got 2mm acrylic plastic sheet, which we cut to sort of random shapes to create a little modular system. And then we got some DAS modeling clay and basically just molded a couple of ridges on the edges to create the banks of these riverbeds. Then it's just got like a grit texture, some painting and dry brushing. And then the other night, we put the finishing touches. We added flock to the banked edges, and we added some grass tufts and some flower tufts just to finish them off. And I tell you what, it was really satisfying to do like a home-built scratch project, because it's not something I've done really for years. I literally can't remember the last time I scratch built something.
Scaffold.
Oh yeah, you did some scaffolding, didn't you, with hot glue and matchwood?
Yeah.
But yeah, do you know what? It's surprising how quickly shit comes together as well. I'd forgotten how satisfying it was as a process. Ricky's done loads of bits and pieces. He's done if I did know somebody who could do that Toros, I could indeed. But he's done some like German drop canisters with parachutes draped over them for objective markers. He's done, what else did he do? He's done some tents using some tutorials using baby wipes off Terrain Tutor, Mel's website or YouTube channel.
Brilliant placement.
As I say, we now have Balkas or riverbeds that we can put on our maps for Stalingrad. I'll tell you something else as well. We worked out there are 22 missions in the Stalingrad campaign book. So if we do one a month, that's basically 2 years to play that book. That is what you call fucking value. It's such a good
Some may
campaign book.
argue why you're not playing it more.
To be fair, once a month is about right, because some of the hobby overhead is pretty steep on... I mean, like, the terrain collection that you need to make the maps sing is not insignificant. Do you know what I mean? So it's as I say, it's once a month is fine. Once a month is a good rate to be doing that sort of thing. I mean, Jesus Christ, if we had to do a game a week, it would become our fucking lives, mate. So let's talk a little bit about club painting competition. I didn't get anything done. David didn't get anything done. We've both been too busy and had our fucking hands full with other shit. However, V at the club did enter something. Annoyingly, he entered exactly the same thing that I was going to enter, which was the Scions of Flame, I think they're called, warband for Warcry. And I tell you what, it annoyed me even more when I saw his entry, because when I remember putting the models together when I was in Scotland, and I remember thinking, nah, not really impressed. I'm not inspired to paint these. They look a little bit weird, a little bit But actually, looking at V's painted versions, I was like, fuck, there are some nice touches to these models. The one at the back on your right, he's got sort of a sword and he's holding it across himself, and there's like a fire blast coming out of the hilt. So it's like fucking Thundercats, fucking psh, like this. And there's some really cool little modelling oddities on these. The flaming censer flails with all the flames coming out of it. There's some really cool bits on these. So I need to dig my box out and actually have a go at painting them. I'm bloody annoyed at myself for not doing anything for paint comp, but it was just one of them things. There's just not enough hours in the day at the moment, particularly with work getting busier. So obviously, painting competition means that it must have been board game night. So that's what we did. We gave ourselves a migraine and we played Tindaya, is it, mate? Tindaya or YA?
Yeah.
However you pronounce it. So
actually, before we go on to this, painting competition. Next month's painting competition theme is Ice Age.
Ice Age. Ooh. I think I can see some Frostgrave in my future. I don't know. I'm feeling it might be Frostgrave. What do you think?
More than likely, yes.
So yeah, we played this board game Tindaya. I don't know what you describe this as. It's sort of like a weird ecological survival game where
it's very much meant to be a heavy Euro focused on the conquistadors invading the Canary Islands in the 15th and 16th century. You are playing as the tribes on the Canary Islands with the volcanoes and the wood and that kind of thing. And that is the game. You're defending your tribes from the conquistadors.
Yeah, well, or not, as the case may be. As you starve and run out of food and get fucking trashed by gods who are unhappy with you, and then get fucking tidal waves and exploding volcanoes destroying your villages. Yeah, altogether a nice bit of fun it was. I mean, we've commented on this game before. This game is hard. We tend to play it in easy
mode,
cooperative mode. So basically, all of the players are trying to win the game together instead of fucking each other over. And we've never beaten it yet, but no longer. This week,
Well,
we... Well, hang on.
technically.
Okay, this week, we also didn't beat the game, but that's not for want of trying, because I did my bit, and Rich, who you can see just in your top right, with his grey top on, who was the third player of the group, he did his bit. However, David forgot that he had to have at least one villager in a village, otherwise he bins the game for everybody else. So the guy who fucking owns the game and fucking knows the game basically screwed us out of a win, and here is the Hail Mary of his sort of like villager realizing, oh no, I need to be in the village X, and diving for it just as the game ends. So we, apart from that little detail, we called it a win. Because apart from David's fuck up, we would have won.
To be
it was a
fair,
win.
though, we say multiple times when we play this, we need to learn from last time's game.
Is that the royal
we? If we ever play Tindaya again, everybody should have another tribe on their starting island. End of story. So you can learn the trades quicker, because the quicker you unlock those single action reuse cubes, the better. The second thing, it's all kind of potluck at where stuff will be. Well, again, this is what, the first time we played Tindaya this year?
To be fair, it does not see an excessive amount of play. And partly that is the problem. Because, I'll be brutally honest, this isn't a casual game. As has just been intimated by David. So you can sort of imagine the sort of board game that before you sit down and play it for the first time, you want an experienced player to run you through a 30-minute slideshow. Now then, take notes, everybody. During turn 1, I need everybody to do this. Then we need to do this. It's sort of like, okay, did we come here to have fun or what? What is this? Is this a fucking seminar? But
the other thing is, it does suffer because it's a 3-player game. It has been a club once before, Upworld, and me and Luke have played it.
Is 3 the maximum number, mate?
4's the maximum.
No, 4. Yeah, I was going to say 4 it goes to, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's not terrible. It's crunchy, and it's slightly more socially acceptable than my other crunchy game.
Yeah, obviously, I am being a bit hyperbolic. Rich, who was the third player, it was definitely not his cup of tea, because it was a bit more work than he was expecting to do for a bit of a fun game night. I'll be honest, there are times when this game is not the worst game I've ever played. It's a nice puzzle, but fuck me, it's difficult. But having said that, partly the satisfaction when you actually work out how to beat it, and you really do have to cooperate with each other to actually win. There's a certain amount of satisfaction to that.
Yes.
And I get that. It's just.
And I do like the fact that this has got basically infinite replayability as well, because it's a fully modular board with 2 sides. So you've got like an easy side that we're playing on here, and then the hard side that makes everything a little bit smaller, a little bit more focused.
Funnily enough, as well, talking about it, we've sort of like worked out there are strategies that you would want to adopt before you to win. If you did play this game a lot, say once every fortnight or once a month, even for a couple of years, I can imagine you might learn enough of the core paths that you want to increase the difficulty. I can see that might be a thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because as you work out strategies for solving it, I can see why you might want to turn the wheel. The only thing is, again, because the nature of David and because we're quite eclectic Magpie gamers and we're always skittering from one project to another project, we never really get to the bottom of anything. Which is fine, because that's what we like, isn't it, mate? Really.
Yes, it is.
We like to have an amuse bouche and then move on to something else on the fucking on the trolley, instead of just digging endlessly into the same game over and over again. No shade on you if you do that, but I don't think that's really the way that we like to float, do our thing. Right.
No.
It's already 20 to 9, so we better crack on.
It's the part of the show that we have come to know as the latest salty blizzard of nerdy sorrow. More news than you can shake the salt at. More news than you can shake the salt at.
Right, we're back in the room. Mate, have you seen MS Paint's video, last one? I don't know.
No, I haven't.
Obviously, it looks like Dave's having a stroke there. I apologise for that.
I have seen this. I haven't watched this.
Mate, I know that, again, I know you've got a bit of a hard-on for Mike Hutchinson as a game designer. I am surprised that you have not dug into this deeper, and you definitely need to watch this video. I think I heard Mike talking about this video from MS Paint is about Space Gits, which is a sort of a fun dexterity skirmish game from Mike.
Fuck that. Dexterity's annoying as fuck.
Mate.
Because all it takes is somebody to knock the table.
Look, stop. I know what you're going to say. I think you should watch this video, because I was actually quite surprised. Because I get, basically, one of the conceits in this game is when you're orc, it's basically, imagine Gorka Morka, but even more stupid, which is like orcs fighting orcs. The idea is you have a drunken brawl between orcs, and each time one of the orcs takes damage, it doesn't have hit points or wounds. You just build a stack of dice next to the model as it takes hits, and the model doesn't fall over until its dice stack falls over. So each time you move the miniature, you've got to move the stack of dice with it. And obviously, as soon as you fail that dexterity test, the model goes down, and you have to bring it back up using your other models. But there's loads of other stuff, like you actually determine movement through dice, where you've actually got to throw the dice where you want to move. And it's like, I didn't realise that Mike had leaned so fucking hard into the dexterity conceit of this game. I've gone from being meh, it's a twee piece of shit, to, do you know what? This game could be fucking amazing. Probably not the most crunchy of gaming experiences, but I think we should maybe not write it off. Look at the video and see what you think. But I tell you what, after this video from Dave, obviously Mike is in it as well. Mike basically goes over to Dave's and says, we're gonna show everybody Space Gits, and Dave goes, oh yeah, all right then. Which is just fucking great. And obviously this is typical Dave from MS Paint's cinematic genius. Really well shot, really well put together. So yeah, if you haven't watched it yet, go and watch it. And do you guys have an opinion on Space Gits? Does it appeal to you or not? This video changed my mind. I looked at it and was like, fuck off. It's like a kid's game. But I don't know. I think there's more to it. What else have we got? This is quite a good video from Big Lee at Miniature Adventures. It's just really simple. Basically, he talks about if you're trying to introduce somebody to wargaming, it's loads of good advice that we've covered before on the stream. You know, don't go fucking hard with 40k 10th edition 2000 points and expect somebody to enjoy that as their first wargaming experience. Pick an appropriate rule set, pick an appropriate game size, curate the experience, use your fucking common sense. It's just a really good video. And I do like to give Big Lee a shout out. This was a weird thing. Games Workshop got into the Financial Times. Now, I don't want to go into the article in depth, other than just to comment, that's fantastic that our little gaming sector is now getting the attention of a wider market. Because apart from the fact that it's Games Workshop and they're banging on about 40k and fucking AOS and eye roll, it's just the fact that ultimately you're getting pictures and blurb thrust in front of normals, and it might, do you know what I mean? It's all about increasing awareness outside of the bubble. And again, it does very much focus on the gaming activity rather than just Games Workshop as a company. Yeah, there is a ton of shit about them being like vertically integrated, money obsessed dipshits. Obviously they don't use quite that language, but I think we get it. But again, it's just great. It's a great article because it's all about fucking eyeballs on the Stinky Cheese says, I despise dexterity games. If I was good at dexterity, I'd be playing actual sports. Yeah, I get, mate. I get it, which is why I'd initially dismissed it. But as I say, I was just impressed how much Mike had obviously thought about it and thought, well, if this is a dexterity game, I'm not just going to take a cheap conceit. I'm really going to lean hard into this bad boy. And it was like, okay. Because, I mean, the other thing is as well, I'll tell you what else is brilliant about Space Gits. Do you know how you resolve close combat? Rock, paper, scissors. But you have different things. You've got push, slap, and pinch. And like, pinch beats slap, and slap beats push, and push.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
It's just like, oh my god. Fucking genius. What else have we got? This is again. It's great to see. You can tell actually that GW are bottoming out on their curve, and that obviously everybody's like, well, no, don't give a shit about 10th edition. 11th edition is less than 6 months away or whatever. We've all had enough. Let's give Games Workshop a miss, because everybody's talking about everything but fucking Flick 'em Up is the space one, isn't it? Stinky Cheese. Again, I've seen that, but not. We saw isn't there a Flick sort of Battle of Britain airplanes one as well? Did I see that at Chilcon? Somebody correct. It's a cowboy variant. Oh, I don't know about that. I'm sure, but these cowboy versus cowboy. Is there a like a airplanes one? Chick Crispin, or am I imagining that? I'm yeah.
You're probably imagining.
Yeah. For all these fucking games. Anyway, back to this. Morty and Glory. Again, he's really getting off-piste with fucking the old 40k. Basically, he does a video saying that one of the best things to buy if you're into old world Games Workshop's reinvented Warhammer Fantasy Battles is the Samurai Starter Army from Warlord. Which I'm like, yeah, that's definitely the best thing to do. Don't buy any models from Games Workshop. Let them fuck off and die at their preposterous prices. So if you want somebody basically extolling the virtues of Warlord's models, and how to use them to make Games Workshop less of a fucking eye-watering, butt-raping shitfest, then watch this video, because I found it quite entertaining. What else have we got to talk about? This one made me chuckle, and that's probably not a very appropriate thing to say, but Let's Talk Tabletop did a video about what will happen to your collection when you cark. So, little bit morbid, maybe, you know, sort of like what happens with all my toys when I'm pushing up the daisies or shuffling off my mortal coil. But, you know, when you're at the end of life, like when you're this side of 50, not David's side of 50. Yeah, I'll be honest, cheese me. Again, I think he's being a little bit optimistic. He's got stuff like, oh, get a friend to sell it, or, you know, leave a list of what stuff's worth so that people can put it all on eBay. It's like, you won't get that for it. Oh, it's worth $100,000. No, it's not. It isn't. Most of it's shitty landfill. Nobody wants it. You wanted it, but nobody else wants it. That rare resin or metal dreadnought from 1982, yeah, somebody wants that. Well, actually, no, it won't be that early, Paul. 1989, somebody wants that, but nobody wants the rest of it. The rest of it was mass-produced, and there's far too much of it already out there. But yeah.
Nobody wants last year's releases that you haven't got around to painting because they're a pile of shame.
And even the stuff that's still in shrink wrap is worth precisely 5% of what you paid for it, because you never opened yours. But here is the news: 99% of the people who bought it never opened theirs either. So either they or their relatives will also be dumping that on eBay. Just a thought. So yeah. Yeah, this is, again, I mean, I'll be honest, here is a revelation for everybody. Somebody not sitting a million miles away from me in a virtual space is obviously going to have the responsibility of getting rid of all this shit should anything ever happen to me. Because basically... Because Ross is under strict instructions. Don't put yourself out over it. Make it David's problem. So
thanks, dickhead.
What
happens with my collection? Who's in charge of mine?
Well, that's for you to decide. All I'm saying is that this is yours. So yeah, that's what obviously the smart thing to do is find a complete scapegoat that you can just offload the problem onto, which is what I've done. Yeah, a curse is definitely more like it, as is sort of like, what am I going to do with all of this shit? So, because the other thing, do you know the beautiful...
Does that technically mean I have a load of new games?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I tell you what, the beauty of it is this, right? Okay, and here's something to think about if you've got a malicious bone in your body like I have. If you leave your wargaming collection to a normie, they will happily landfill it and not blink. If you leave it to somebody else who's in the hobby, even if it's stuff that they know they will never, ever do anything with, the emotional angst that you will give them, because they're like, oh my God, I can't landfill this. I can't landfill this. It's hobby stuff. Somebody who's going to love this. Just imagine the suite from beyond the grave. You can hear. That would be great, wouldn't it?
You're a cunt. I fucking hate you. I fucking hate you.
Oh dear. I'm not sure about this video either. Somebody who's a viewer sent this to me, I think, or shared it. It might have been Paul, Pandyman. Pandy may have sent me this. And I did see that people were talking about this in the On Tabletop Discord. Yeah, GW, definitely landfill that toss.
Use it as a firelighter.
To give you the TLDR, this guy, who I think is an Oz, has got a laser cutter. And his brilliant idea, was to get extruded PVC foam, I think it is, cut it into thin sheets with a wire cutter, then put the thin sheets into his laser cutter, and use the laser to effectively score it with a texture of like bricks or flagstones, which he then worked on with a pencil to make look more realistic.
Your Honour, refer to the earlier comment of this sounds too involved.
And he reckons it was like game changing. And what he came up with was a piece of flimsy. Admittedly, what he produces at the end of the video looks fucking amazing. Okay, I will give him that. But the problem I saw with this whole premise was the work that went into that one display piece by his right arm is probably about 20 hours of 3D printing on an FDM. And it was like, if only 3D printing wasn't a thing, this would be brilliant.
If only this problem hadn't already been rectified by another accessible product on the market.
Yeah, exactly. If only there wasn't already a solution that was just, oh my God. The lines wouldn't be that bad. 0.2 mil filament, orientated objects. It'll be fine. It's particularly when you get the paint on it. Cheese me. It'd be fine.
Or print it in resin.
Yeah, or fucking leave the FDM and go fucking resin. You can't see the lines. I know there will be lines.
Right, I need not the Stinky Cheese's address, because I'm going to go to Mantic at the weekend when I'm in Nottingham, and I'm going to buy a miniature, and then I'm going to 3D print a miniature, and I'm going to prime them both and fucking send them to him, and then see if he can tell.
There you go, Cheese Me. If you're up for the challenge, send me your postal address on the direct messaging on Tabletop, OTT Discord. David will do his experiment where he'll print a model and buy a model, and then we'll send them to you, and you can go 50-50 on whether you can tell the difference. So yes, don't get me wrong, this guy produces something amazing using a laser cutter. Is it revolutionary, and does it change wargaming as a hobby? If it does, there's a good chance that my cock is a kipper. I'm just saying.
Oh, that's what that fishy smell was.
Maybe it does then. Maybe it does. What else have we got here? There's loads of shit going on this week, guys. Right, here. This is one. I need to take a deep breath. So I have been saying for ages that I need to start a combined army army for yeah, but cheese me, he has to go into like a graphics package and create a load of fucking files to create the cut pattern, to create the texture. It's like, mate, if you're doing that much work, learn to do basic object rendering in fucking Blender or whatever. Make your own 3D prints. Do you know what I mean? He could literally knock, if he just spent a bit of time learning the basics of something like Blender, he could knock what he made up, he could knock it up in Blender and then print the fucker 100 times. It's like, and he hasn't got to do all of the fucking hands-on scoring with a pencil to
Shitty prep
reinforce
work.
the detail, and then because everything's flimsy as fuck, it's got to be all packed out with blocks cut to specific sizes and dimensions, and it's like, melt, stop. It's so fucking hard mode. Anyway,
I'm
moving on.
surprised that video didn't come from me.
Yeah, that's true. You should watch it, mate, and then see if you could do a more hard mode video. So I have been saying for ages, I need to do a combined army Infinity Army. And I may have just got the push that I need to get started, because these new, it's called the new wave, I think, next wave. This next wave shit looks fucking banging. So I think there are basically 3 packs.
Anybody for a dinosaur?
There are this group of these are, so although the combined army is the alien faction, I believe these are modified humans which have been recruited to serving the combined army's, you know, agenda. So whether they're sort of like drug modified or bionics or what, I don't really know, because I've not really looked into the lore. I've just really ogled the cool models and clocked the fact that they are combined army. But there are also some stunning individual pieces. Look at this fucking velociraptor shit thing. Is this just not the coolest thing you've ever seen in your life? So there's that, and then if that wasn't enough, there's these fucking insane juggernaut thing. I don't know if there's a better picture of that. It's probably in this video. Can I play this without having
Man-Rise
music and
animated.
noise? Mute. Yeah. So I don't. Can anybody see the video? Yeah, you can all see the video. So this just looks fucking so cool. Look at it, man. There it is. Look at the fucking state of that. Admittedly, I'll probably hate it when I've got to paint it. But I've been putting off Combined Army for so long and talking about it. I've got to do it, I think. So,
Well, to be fair, Games Expo said no.
Yeah.
Because you weren't allowed to buy Infinity at Games Expo.
I'll be honest, if they'd have had more Combined Army choice at Games Expo, I probably would have pulled the trigger. That is a good shout, mate. But because they had such limited selection, I really didn't feel bothered. I didn't want to buy a fucking Morat Aggression Force or a Shazvasti. Do you know what I mean? They literally only had 2 things. And there weren't things that I wanted to buy. But the other thing is, of course, I can still buy all of the cool shit that goes with it. Like, I can buy some Morats, and I can buy some Shazvasti. This is one of the reasons I want to do Combined Army, if I'm honest. I want to field an Infinity list that's got all of those alien races in it. I'll be brutally honest, I don't know, Cheese Me. I strongly suspect that the big thing will be Cyocast. I'll be surprised if it's anything else. I suspect that all of the other stuff might be metal. The Velociraptor thing might be Cyocast as well. I don't really know. Because the other thing,
Yeah, but isn't all of Warcrow now Psyocast?
yes, it is pretty much. The other thing that draws me to this is one of the reasons I wanted to get into the combined army was I wanted to do the big model stuff. All of my JSA, I don't get me wrong, I love my Japanese secessionists, but it's all very infantry. So I've got ninjas, I've got space samurai, I've got
Your
you know,
biggest model's
just
a guy riding a motorbike, isn't
yeah. Again, and also I've got the battle suit. He's on a 40mm or a 50mm, 40mm I think. So I've got my Daiokai Dengekitai. He's on a biggish base, but I don't have any tags. I don't have any big fucking remotes or anything like that. So one of the things I wanted to do with when I'm going into combined army was do the big fucking base shit. And
Do the
obviously
big avatar.
the bloody Juggernaut is bang on for that, innit?
Yes.
What else have we got? I think we've pretty much covered everything. There's this, which was what you alluded to, is the last thing, mate. So obviously David subscribed to the Carnivale My Mini Factory, and they've got new
Actually,
releases for December.
There's two My Mini Factory things, isn't there? Because there was one I sent you on Facebook Messenger earlier today.
What's there? Okay, well, you tell everybody about the new releases.
This is the Scions of Dagon.
Yes, Scions of Dagon. A 5 miniature Rashar gang.
So we got the Corrupted Page, the Tainted Squire,
Encrusted Squire, Hybrid, Sir Tiburcio.
There's a knight, and then there's a weird monstery thing.
Yeah, like a snaky thing. Tainted Moor. I guess that's supposed to be moray, is it? Like an eel, maybe.
Don't know.
Then there's a guild model, a gifted
guild
model,
Black Lamp model, and a gifted White Dove model.
Is that Dead Karkaros? Is that like just a generic like terrainy piece, like a dead monster?
Terrainy piece, yeah.
And then the wells.
Same as the Crumbling Wells and the what's the fucker called? Pillars.
Yeah, these are the only things we don't really get, aren't they?
Yeah, the pillars are a bit of an odd decision. I don't quite understand why they've included them.
No.
The other thing that's really irking me as well at the moment is...
Oh, yeah.
This circular cobblestone tile is gorgeous, but how much use has it actually got? Because when you look at the printout with the guy on it, it's not that big.
No, it isn't, but you can use any of the bridges to connect to it. And I just think having a circular, if you can imagine a bridge leading to that and then a bridge leading off it, or even better, if you're doing a harbour table where there's that, you put like that at the end of a jetty and then you have like just boats around it, moored to it. And then,
yes.
Can you imagine the cool tables? It's just such a nice piece. I think it's cool. And I get what you're saying. It's not fucking massive. In fact, my guess would be it's probably 4 inches in diameter. Because I imagine it's probably sized to fit inside their other modular terrain layouts. Wouldn't you?
Bed diameter. And it's about 8 inches across.
8? It could be 8. It could be. That'd be fucking pretty big though, mate. I mean, that's the other extreme. 8 inches diameter is a big terrain piece.
But next thing on the ones and zeros list.
But he will be printing this anyway, because obviously he'll be printing it for me or sending me the file.
Steam
Just saying.
No, I won't. I won't be sending you the file because that would be copyright piracy.
Just saying that is something that will be happening.
That would be copyright piracy.
Oh, okay.
Guild Ball from Steamforge Games. They made the decision 12, 18 months ago to print everything as print on demand for if you wanted to buy stuff. Well, boys and girls, no longer do you have to buy direct from Steamforge Games. You go to my mini factory, you purchase miniatures, you print miniatures, you play with miniatures, you play Guild Ball. Paul?
Yeah.
You own Guild Ball.
Yes.
I don't currently own Guild Ball.
Yes.
But I am contemplating in the winter sale when stuff is reduced, buying the navigators that I was going to buy for this game.
Do it. I already have Season 3, the rulebook. I also have the rat catchers. Is it?
Yes, you do.
Are they on here?
They're Purple Gang, I think, if they're anything.
There are morticians, rat catchers. Here we go. So these I own in plastic. So, in fact, yes, this is it. This is the exact set because it's got the sewer, it's got the goal at the back. Yeah, this is what I own. I already have this. So you're right. This is not a new game because I already have it. Presumably, obviously you've got to pay $30 for the team plus VAT, obviously here in the UK. Are the card assets all print online now, mate? Print on demand?
They are there, and it says download them here.
Oh, they're actually here, are they?
Yeah, they're literally when you click on like the Navigators pack. If you click on the Navigators core pack, it says go here and download them. As in, it's on each listing for each like faction pack.
Okay, mate.
So it'll say it in like the description area. If you pop it down and say see more,
show more. Got it.
It's
Yeah,
there.
I see where. Yeah, blah blah blah. To download the cards, click here. Shall we open this in a new tab? Oh, and here we go. Free PDF. Right. Yep. Okay. So basically, do you know what? This could be one of the greatest things about 3D printing. Is like, even when a company says, do you know, we're just not making enough money for this game. It's just not worth it anymore. Just put the fucking STLs in my mini factory, stick a $5 price tag on, put your card assets up as free PDFs, and just let it grind money in the background and don't worry about it. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's just, you're not leaving anything on the table, you're keeping your IP alive, and surely there can't be a huge cost to just dumping shit on an account on here and then letting it just grind away.
There is a monthly listing fee, I believe.
Is there?
But again, yes, and they'll take a cut of each and every sale. But why not take the Mantic Games approach?
Set up your own.
Host them on your own website and go, if you want to buy stuff, here it is.
I guess so. You know, there's that many easy, what we call CMS, content management system platforms. You could probably just throw a website together quite easily, couldn't you? But yeah.
Yes.
So what's this? No new games! He only wants you to do this because he broke his promise already. Look, leave it. Okay? Leave it.
To be fair, though, guys, I have played Guild Ball before. It's just that I've played it with
the club
starter.
Set. Yeah, we played it with the Farmers versus Brewers starter.
Brewers versus Masons, I think it
Brewers
is.
versus Masons, yeah, could be. I think it was the second season starter, which we got for club.
Yeah, but the thing being as well, I did quite enjoy it. It was quite good. It's quite it's different. To be fair, Trevor, I'm the only fucker to have played with the Guild Ball set, so let's not get on our high horse and say I don't own it, though.
I played with it with you, and admittedly, I do own season 3 and a team.
Yeah.
The only thing I don't have is a pitch.
And I went to buy a team, didn't I?
Yeah.
As it got killed. Hence why I fucking threw my toys out of the pram about it and still mention it to this day.
Does anybody know, can you still get Guild Ball pitches on Fabric from people like Deep Cut? I haven't looked for ages.
You can. Yes,
right,
you can.
Cool.
It's an option to put on the print for Deep Cut.
That's something I need to pick up at some point. Right. Well, there you go. That was the news. That was all of it. There was loads.
20 minutes late from the nostalgia.
Yeah,
train.
but it's only a waffly chit chat anyway, so who cares? It's tightly scripted, my ass. Do you know what was quite nice actually? To actually be seeing stuff online that I want to comment on, I want to engage with. Do you know what I mean?
To be fair, it's been a month since we've had a big news session like that. And I don't know if it's because it's the run up to Christmas or what it is, but there's some news out there. Because again, that news that we've discussed tonight isn't like, oh, look at what's new and what's released and what looks cool, even, is it? It was literally just, this is some good content.
Yeah, but again, I'll be honest, I don't really engage with that. It's like I don't like unboxing or preview type content to consume. If somebody's just going to show me a new product, I'm not really interested unless there's another dimension to it, or unless it's something that like really appeals to an idea I've already got. Hence the Infinity thing. I saw that and I was like, Combined Army again. I need to fucking do this. So, right, let's get on to the main topic. So, nostalgia then.
Sorry, I just need to put my rose-tinted spectacles on.
Fucking hell. So, obviously, as we said at the top of the show, you're having a bit of a nostalgic moment now with your computer games, aren't you, from your childhood?
Yes.
So do you want to tell people about that and the trigger event of that?
Yeah, so recently, boys and girls, I remembered there was a Roman city builder game, and we'll come to fucking historicals, because apparently that's David's modus operandi right now.
Your new obsession.
But
Sam, he's talking about new games again. Sam.
I used to play a Roman city builder game, and I couldn't remember the name of it for a couple of weeks. And then...
Jeez me. Childhood, that's like 4 years ago, right?
So, Caesar 3, boys and girls.
Caesar 3.
Released in 1998. I was 3 when that game released. And I used to play it in my early teens on my Windows computer.
Oh my god, it looks awful.
It is currently £4 on what's it fucking called?
Steam?
GOG.
Oh, GOG.
GOG. So I'm considering it.
Oh my god, yeah. Oh my god, yeah. This looks like the SimCity games that I used to play in the early 90s. I'll just bring this up for everybody at home. Shit! Cheese me!
Spam is currently...
They are not shitty. How dare you, sir? I still play games on DOS emulation. And they're not shitty either before you start. Funnily enough, I've been buying up the King's Quest series of the point-and-click adventure games. King's Quest 1 to 6. I think I bought all 8 games for about £4-5.
Spam's just had a go at me in chat.
Oh my god, that's brutal. Oh dear, I can't believe fucking Cheese
But
Me
this
said they've got
didn't
shitty
even
games.
have proper 3D graphics. This was 2D isometric, pan around your city, build your city out, build your resources, little bit of battle gaming with it as well. Suffers from all of the quirks of a early noughties computer game of
I like the way you
pathing
use the word
issues
quirks for fucking shitty bugs. That's a euphemism. Oh, it's got quirks. You mean it's bugged to fuck and the UI's unusable?
But the best thing is, unless the community has kept this fucker alive,
Yeah.
and they have generated 2 new engines for it. One is called Julius, one is called Augustus. Julius is very much a vanilla base game, but allows you, rather than running it on a 4x3 monitor, to run it widescreen.
Okay.
And Augustus takes the game and turns it up to 11 and changes some bits and pieces and makes it a more modern imagining.
What got you into what triggered this? Was it something you saw, or
I've been on a bit of a historical kick because
so it was the historical thing. Got you.
Been looking at
Yeah.
Pillage and other bits and pieces, and then I suddenly remembered I used to play this game a lot, but I couldn't remember what the fuck it was called, and spent ages looking for it and thinking about it, and then it suddenly came to me one day, and it's like, and I'll probably buy it, and it'll probably be fucking terrible.
You'll have to come back and tell stream whether this was one of those. Yeah, I remembered it so fondly, but fuck, it was shit. To be fair, that did happen to me. Again, in the digital gaming space, obviously, Space Hulk was released as a computer game in the early 90s, I think. And it is fucking terrible. The first Space Hulk game is unplayably bad. It's just, you can't see what's going on. The graphics are terrible. It's ridiculously hard. It's fucking random. And it just ends up being a fucking load spamming shitfest. So it was like, no, this was not a good game after I rediscovered it. It was like, no, there's a reason nobody ever picked this up, and it's only playable on a DOS emulator because it's arse. Now, in terms of, so because when we were talking about it before, obviously you've able to get your nostalgia thing going for these digital games, but you've not really been in the hobby long enough to develop nostalgia yet for miniature games.
Well, shall we go actually first to your discussion and the point that we started this conversation on last night with some of the games that you want to give a go and go from there, and then we can come to me and my discussion on as to why there's only pretty much 2 that I'm nostalgic for.
Okay.
To round out the stream, I think that will probably flow a little better.
Okay, so I guess in terms of tabletop gaming, a lot of my nostalgia lies with early Games Workshop. So
like OG Adeptus Titanicus, stuff like that.
Yeah. Epic, Adeptus Titanicus, Space Hulk. Space Hulk was a fucking obsession for me and my mate Chris for about 2 years solid. We bought Chris owned everything. We played every scenario that was printed in White Dwarf. We played with the Gene Stealer upgrade, the Deathwing upgrade. We did the missions out of the core game. This was all first edition. We used the rules from the compendium to build Imperial Guard lists, Eldar lists. So we played Space Hulk with non-fucking Terminator models. We did everything in Space Hulk. And it's funnily enough, Space Hulk occupies this sort of like nostalgic nest in my head to the extent that one of the first projects I thought of doing as soon as Ross bought me my 3D printer for Christmas was, I could do a 3D printed Space Hulk board. So instead of using the cardboard tiles, I got 3D tile. And it was literally the first thing that came into my head. I've only played Space Hulk once in the last few years, and funnily enough, I played it at the club with Dan, who is the guy who passed away sadly from pancreatic cancer. But he was a little bit younger than me, but he'd got similar massive nostalgia vibes for this game. But do you know what? We rolled out first edition Space Hulk. We did the Exterminate mission, which was mission 2, and I can't remember what the first mission's called, where you got to flame the control room. Exterminate, the second mission, is where you've got to kill as many Stealers as possible before you all die. Basically a head count mission. And you know what? It was as good as we remembered it. It was still such a fucking good game.
Early GW wasn't shit. That's the thing.
I know. I mean, so there was that.
Where they came from.
So Space Hulk is a massive nostalgia hit for me. Now, oddly enough, the biggest 40k I ever played was second edition. We did a bit of Rogue Trader, but the problem with Rogue Trader, there was so little in it that, you know, we ended up playing with like modified airfix Russian helicopters and stuff like that, which we had to create our own rules for, using the templates for creating vehicles, because there just wasn't anything to Rogue Trader. It was really thin. You know, it was a thick book, but there wasn't, from a wargaming perspective, there wasn't a lot there.
It didn't have like the legs and the stacks on it, did it?
It really was more like a role-playing game experience where here's the rulebook, now you write your own games sort of shit. And again, it had that narrative feel, and it just didn't do it. It was too much, because ultimately we looked at it and said, yeah, we could do that, or we could just play D&D, which we'll do, thanks very much, because there's about 50 printed adventures and it's easier. So we don't have to build a lot of fucking terrain and models and shit. So it didn't really do it. So when second edition came in, and obviously the ranges started to expand dramatically. I mean, people probably can't imagine what it's like now, but yeah, I tell you what I did, Damon. I scratch built a Baneblade out of the fucking White Dwarf article. So yeah, my mate Chris was brilliant at hobbying and modelling and that sort of shit. But obviously second edition hits, the model range explodes. I had a huge squat army, a huge Imperial Guard army, and we played a ton of it. But this is my point. I'm not particularly nostalgic for second edition 40k. As somebody who's a seasoned wargame player, I realise, and again, this was brought home to me. If nobody's seen it and is nostalgic for it, watch Ash Barker's playthroughs of Rogue Trader and Second Edition 40k on the Guerrilla Miniature Games YouTube channel, and it will very quickly you will recall what a shitfest it was. I mean, everything took forever. Everything was massively convoluted. It was not a great streamlined gaming experience. It was random and it was so unbalanced. It was preposterous. I mean, it might appeal to some, but I have my rose-tinted glasses are very much off as far as second edition 40k goes. Earlier, was it this year? Might even have been last year. I fucking lose track of time. One of the things that I did have a bit of a nostalgic twang for, though, was the Slaves to Darkness campaign for Warhammer Fantasy Battles and 40k, where you had a demon. Well, no, you had a Chaos Lord, if you like, who follows one of the 4 Chaos Demons, Tzeentch, Nurgle, Slanesh, or Khorne. And then there's this whole random scripted fucking cycle where you recruit warband members and then fight another Chaos Lord, and then you have more warband members and gifts of chaos, and the thing with it is obviously there's a lot of hobby overhead tied with the mutations and then converting all of your models. So putting scorpion tails on all of your berserk, on all of your fucking beast men, and putting crab claws on all of your fucking Skaven, and it's like you roll this ridiculous, oh great, all of my dwarves now have the long legs mutation. How the fuck am I going to model that? And then you do that, and then half of them get killed in the next game. So you're like, why did I do that?
That was worth the time and effort.
Why did I do that again? And I said it at the time because I think we may have discussed it on stream. And I meant to do a proper project on OTT, and I sort of started it and it lost its momentum. But again, that was one of those things where I mentioned it at the top of the show. This was one of those things where I like had this nostalgia, and I was like, oh mate, I remember talking about that with Chris, and we didn't have the hobby chops and we didn't have the disposable income because we were basically just teenagers, and it was like, we can't just be buying models to cut them up just for their fucking legs and arms and that sort of shit. Because back in the day, a lot of stuff was metal. It wasn't a case of, I'll buy a sprue and use the bits. Things hadn't quite got that sophisticated yet.
Yeah.
And so don't get me wrong, I'm glad I went back and did it as a grown adult, because... And it wasn't the worst experience in the world. I promised myself once I started that whatever happened, I would keep that collection of models set in almost amber, preserved, to remind me of the experience of having done it.
Yes.
And I'm glad I did it, but will I be doing it again in a hurry? Probably not. Because, as you said, it was a fuck ton of work for stuff that... I mean, again, the great example is, like, you could put all these fantastic conversions onto your Chaos Lord, and then he gets a mutation that sets all his stats to 1, and he basically becomes a fucking cretinous liability that doesn't do anything on the battlefield, and you're like, yeah, that's great, awesome. I am now a drooling cripple with no arms. Fucking awesome, great. So yeah, not the best. The other thing that I have massive nostalgia for, and I have started to explore it, is collectible card games. I played
Yes.
so many collectible card games, and I own so many collectible card games that just never see the light of day now. Now, God bless them. The lads at my gaming club have indulged me by playing my old Game of Thrones card game, which has been great fun. But there are so many other games I'd love to get to the table, but it's so difficult to actually get people to commit because they're very hard to teach. People have to put a lot of effort to learn in them. Do you know what I mean? And the experience can be cheese me. The experience can be very unique
Unforgiving.
in not a good way. But I still
What?
have a huge nostalgia for those sort of things. But I guess having said that, I'm not nostalgic for second edition 40k. I am nostalgic for the 40k aesthetic and the 40k minis. So
And actually, this probably segues nicely into me.
yeah,
So I've only been in the hobby since 2013, 2014.
yeah,
So at this point, I've been in the hobby 10 years. There's two things that I have gorgeous rose tinted spectacles for. More time, because it was my first proper campaign game
yeah,
that we were playing. Because we did some of that before we did Frostgrave properly. And secondly, the game that got me to be a wargamer, 7th edition 40k with its quirks and nuance and bullshit.
yeah.
Okay,
Although it's
that's a
not
bit of
that
an
long
issue.
ago, the nostalgia makes sense because it was your first, wasn't it?
It's also 4 editions shortly, sir.
Yeah.
4 editions ago.
We guess that's 12
It's
years.
nearly a third of the product's life.
I mean, that's why I still have massive nostalgia for Beck Me D&D, the basic expert D&D. Because even though it was been superseded by advanced, third, 3.5, fourth, fifth, now 2024 edition or whatever the bollocks they call it, for me, when something is like your first experience of a particular genre or type of game, that means a lot, doesn't it?
Yes. Again, it was the first miniatures that I started painting. I still haven't finished that Salamander's army. And this is the thing, it would be nice to get it out and go, right, let's fully finish this. Let's fully get everything painted and done and built and get it to a stage where I can go, right, I'm done with that. And
Yeah.
I think it keys into what we spoke about the other day because I'd played 7th for roughly 18 months
Right.
before it then changed to 8th, I want to say.
Okay. So roughly half an edition.
8th with the big reset is actually the thing that I quite like because it sped the game up.
Yeah.
And with those Xenos and the indexes
Yeah.
and everything getting hammered to the point of, well, everything's had to be rewritten because it's the only way to make this work, ended up actually being a really good time to play. Yes, there were casualties along the way. Yes, I lost some of the flair to my Tau army and bits and pieces. But actually, it was a really fun time to play because everybody was on the same level playing field. And I
Yeah.
think, if anything, I'd rather go back to the indexes and go and play 8th because, again, it removed elements that were points of contention in 7th, like armor facing on vehicles, the fact that everything changed to strength toughness.
Yeah.
So then there was no argument about, well, do I hit side armor? Do I hit front armor? And lecturing and getting fucking laser line out and discussing with your opponent for 20 minutes. It actually did speed the game up
Yeah.
massively. And that's why I want to go back probably and finish my armies. Because again, I've got a fucking Storm Surge, the big Titan
Yeah.
for Mattel that I've never built, never finished. I've wanted to do
Because there's no
the
motivation
fist.
now
Well,
to
again,
do it.
I wanted to do the fist
Now then,
conversion, and this
Rich.
was all before. This
David
was
was
all
just
before I
saying
had
what a
the
wanker you were, Rich. I don't know if you heard him.
This
Sorry,
was
carry
all
on.
before I had my 3D printer,
Yeah.
and like there was recommendations and stuff online on some blog posts of go and buy this particular Iron Man figurine and tear the arms off it, and they work really well for like Tau arms on this particular Storm Surge and do some conversion work. And there's part of me that wants to do it. There's
Yeah.
part of me that's like, I should do that. I should try that, play that, enjoy that.
Like I say, I am entirely with you because I want to put my 40k models on the table again, and I need to find a gaming whether yeah. Rich, just in case anybody doesn't know, Rich is the guy who was our third player in our club night on Monday, when he had to sit and endure David ruining his entire night by failing to win the game. So just in case anybody's so we can all commiserate with Rich. Yeah, mate, it's like I just want to put the game miniatures on the table again, and that's where the nostalgia comes from. I've tried 10th. I can't do it. It's too much work. It's just not fun. The game is not enjoyable to play.
And the other thing is, right, both
So
of us have dropped out of the collection
he's still
since
shot.
the tail end, of 8th and when it went into 9th.
Yeah.
Yes. So all of the new models that have been released for 9th and 10th edition, we couldn't give a tinker's jizz about
No.
because we don't own them.
No.
So why don't we play an older edition?
I am totally with you. I mean, literally the only new Necron models I own is obviously one of the Kill Team boxes. I think the Gallo Dark one included a Necron Kill Team, and it had the guy on the floating disc with the weird cloak thingy, who's like a technomancer or whatever. He's the only post 7th edition Necron model I own. Everything else is just like old school as shit. And I again, I agree with you. I know we talked about it on stream the other week, but I think we should try maybe 8th edition. You can complete your army, either your Tau or your Salamanders. We should play some games. We should put the models on the table, and we should rediscover a love of the game and the aesthetic, the game world and the aesthetic. And do you know what? I will have even after Games Workshop has basically forced me to bin half of my Imperial Guard army because I can't have guardsmen equipped with jump packs and bolts, pistols and combat shields, and I can't run units of 20 penal legion warriors, and because I can't run my land raiders and rhinos because now they've got fucking, I don't even know what they're called, Layman Russes and fucking Griffins or whatever the bollocks. Because back in the day, they had basically just the same vehicles as the Marines, because they only had 2 kits, the fucking Land Raider and the Rhino. That was it. And everything was
Again, you can run your Raven Guard army as a proper Raven Guard army
Yes,
with
because scouts are
as
core.
troops.
So I can do a Raven Guard scout list. And it will be legal. Although I think it's probably legal now because they fucking changed everything again for 10th. It was 9th edition when you couldn't take scouts as basic troops, wasn't it?
No, scouts are still elite, are they
Oh,
not?
is it? Oh, I didn't even know there was an elite thing anymore. I thought all the categories were gone and you'd got HQ and fuck all else. It was like
Well,
HQ and everything else.
Don't forget they're firstborn, so they're probably dead shortly anyway.
Yeah. Do you know what? A lot of people put the bolt action initiative system on top of 40k, mate, to fix the massive fucking feel bads of the I go, you go bollocks, where it's like, I go, destroy half your shit, then you go with what's left. Good luck. So yeah, that's a thing a lot of people do. And in fact, Rick Priestley designed a game based around it. Because people loved the idea so much. It's called Gates to Antares, or Gates of Antares. Sadly, it never got the traction because basically it was sort of 40k with bolt action dice. And I think everybody could see that. So it was like, well, why don't I just ditch the initiative system from 40k? Because the models are better and there's loads more lore. And it's basically the same hit, wound, save thing. I'll be honest, I thought about buying, when it got bargain binned to oblivion, Crispin, and you could literally pick the rulebook up for a few quid. I did think about doing it, because to be honest, it wasn't a bad game. I mean, I played a demo of it. I've watched battle reports of it online. It's definitely got something going. It's not shit by any stretch. But for me, it's not different enough. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um,
And I think that might be the issue we come
oh, mate, you'll
into.
pick it up on eBay. No worries.
That is the issue we might stumble into next year. But we're playing with stuff that hasn't seen the light of day for years. So is it necessarily a bad thing if it feels a bit bolt actiony because that's the fix we put on it?
No, not
Do you know
really.
what I mean?
To be fair, though, my nostalgia is for my 40k model collection. That's what I'm nostalgic to
Yeah,
use.
it's for the miniatures and using the miniatures.
Yeah.
It's not for
Yeah.
the rules and playing with the rules.
No. But again, I want to crack out my old Eldar models, and I want to go to the table with some striking scorpions and some swooping hawks, and I want to use those models. Because again, we could do the one-page
Well, I'm not going to lie,
rules.
mate. I would prefer you do that than do your Necrons, because then I'm seeing stuff that I've never ever played against.
I'll be honest, mate. Don't you worry. If we do start doing this, I will definitely start painting some of my grey pile of hell. Eldar, Dark Eldar, Orcs, all of it grey. I've got so much Tyranids still to paint. haven't played with enough with the Tyranids. I've had a few games in 8th and 9th, I think, but not a lot. So I've got loads of new stuff. And I definitely will be doing that. If we do this 40k thing, I will be doing that. The only reason I thought about using the Necrons initially was because it gives us a chance to decide whether we want to start house ruling shit, and
yeah,
because if we're working on things that we know well, we can say, well, hang on a minute, we're going to scrap all that because that was bollocks, and that's a rule that's just getting in the way. Doesn't add any flavour. We're just trimming fat with a machete. Do you know what I mean? And it's easier to do with things you're more familiar with.
Yes.
I'm not sure if Crispin's being ironic there when he says that Gates of Antares had better models. A lot of the early Gates of Antares models weren't great, Crispin. I'm sorry, mate. I have to take exception there. They were a bit fucking. I thought they were a bit blobby and a bit soft and not very well sculpted. They might have got better towards the end. I get that they're more realistic. They're far more grounded. I will give you that. But I just don't think they were particularly great models.
Can you tell what the command of your squad is though? Is he stood on a rock?
No, again, they don't have. Yeah, I get it. I get scale creep pisses me off. Yeah, maybe I'm misremembering it. Maybe they're better than my. See, maybe I need to get my fucking my bloody nostalgic mojo adjusted. Gates of Antares models. I remember them as being quite blob, just not great. Beyond the Gates of Antares.
Because again, similarly, I've got Admech up here. I've got Death Guard.
Yeah. Fuck me. So many of the models are still available from Warlord. I
I'm
thought
sorry,
this
what?
game was dead. Yeah,
You
I
thought it was a
mean...
dodo? Yeah, I am looking at them. I stand by what I say, Crispin. I understand what you're saying, mate. But, and don't get me wrong, they're not bad models, okay? They There's
have
worse ones out there.
they have that everything. They look a bit. You remember the early Terminator Marines from like Space Hulk, right? They're all very round and spherical shouldered, and it's because they're shaped in a particular way because they've got to be molded. They come out the molds in a particular way, and the sprue technology was really fucking basic back in the day. So you couldn't do, complex geometry, and you couldn't do odd shapes. But the problem with when I look at the Antares models now, they're not bad models, but they're just a bit. Everything's a little bit rounded. Everything looks a little bit sort of swole.
Everything's a bit soft.
Yes, they look. Even though I'm sure some of the later stuff from Warlord is made of nice hard plastic, they look like fucking PVC board game minis from the 90s. They just have that look. And it's probably unfair. But they and much as I fucking shit on GW, and I will continue to do so, I cannot deny that over the years some of the artistic designs because the thing is, even back in the day, you look at Eldar fire dragons, striking scorpions, swooping hawks, like even when the models weren't anywhere near what they are now 20 years later, the design and art aesthetic coming out of people like Jez Goodwin was just fucking out the room. Fucking
Well, again,
good.
it's like the original Vulcan model for 7th edition. I
Yeah.
didn't like, so I went and bought a shite cast Tech Marine, having read into the lore and converted him and tweaked him into my Vulcan. So my Vulcan is a fully custom Vulcan. got capes off of the fucking Rough Ride, the Dark Corsairs box
Yeah.
from 8th off eBay off a Bits Buyer. Cut up and bastardized a hand flamer and a power fist and some tubing, etc., to make the Flamestorm gauntlet that Vulcan runs around with, etc. Like, what, considering this was like my first entry into the hobby, I did a lot of customization work on that model. And yes,
fair enough, mate.
he needs some improvement. He's not the best, but he was my first. Do you know what I mean? He was my
I do
first
know what you
warlord,
mean,
the
mate. Yeah.
first major army that I built and played. Again, the painting, it's not amazing, but do you know what? It was the first painting that I did.
And for that reason alone, we need to revisit 40k for 2026, don't we? Right, guys,
Yeah.
I can hear my dogs barking. I promised my wife we've got 2 minutes to go. I promised my wife that I would finish on time because we have a Tesco's delivery coming. So I know she's going to need me to do the lifting and carrying and hawking at the front door. So, do you want to show off your miniatures before we go, mate? Show the people what you've been up to.
Let me see if I have my... Bear with me. Joining room now.
I mean, I'll be honest, Rich. If we could pick up the rules and a couple of armies for cheaps, I'd fucking play it.
What's that? Gates of Antares?
Gates of Antares. Be on the Gates of Antares.
Right, boys and girls, come down to my camera.
While David's showing off his painting, I'm going to just accelerate the end phase. If you can only find, first of all, thank you very much to the chat, our co-stars for the show. We greatly appreciate you guys being here and your input. If you can only find time to do one thing tonight, please click the like button, because it does help to push the long 2-hour stream in YouTube's algorithm. If you want to do the other stuff like share, comment, subscribe, blah blah blah, do that as well. That's really appreciated. But do what you want. It's your YouTube. Enjoy it how you like. And with that, are we out of here, mate?
See you next week, fuckers.
It's another Thursday night. I see Crispin's wearing tights. Spam is getting in the bath. Young David's full of wrath. Paul is tightening his straps. Where on his apron you saps. Technical difficulties. They're really such a crime. Technical difficulties. They happen all the time. It's Yellowbelly Tabletop 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 time. Cheese meat is on day release. Dan still tries not to crease. And Ewoks keeping nice and warm in bed with Russian uniform. Meanwhile, the handyman is opening up the can. Technical difficulties. They're really such a crime. Technical difficulties. They happen all the time. It's Yellowbelly Tabletop time. It's Yellowbelly Tabletop time. It's Yellowbelly Tabletop time. Yellow Belly Tabletop time! Cheese Bee is on day release. Damn Chef tries not to crease, but Ewoks keeping nice and warm in bed with Russian uniform. Meanwhile, the handyman is opening another can. It's Yellow Belly Tabletop time! 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 Cheese Bee is on day release. Damn me up tries not to crease, and Ewoks keeping nice and warm in bed with Russian uniform. Meanwhile, the handyman is opening another can.